Hello, dear internet. Before I begin, if there is anything you are confused about in Eurovision, I've made an awesome video covering every single possible question of yours. Check it out right here. Now, this video won't be my first reaction to the Albanian entry. I've already done one. It didn't go well. People were not happy. And I've made sure to ask every person who was angry with my video what exactly made them angry. And after receiving enough feedback, taking everything into consideration, here I am back, starting everything from scratch. People were saying that I was posing too much. Not posing. I was talking over the video and therefore I couldn't really properly listen to the song. My jokes were inappropriate and I was focusing too much on the dancing, which my friends explained to me that this is not the final version and the final performance is usually different. So taking all that into consideration, here I am making my second attempt to react on the Albanian entry. This time I will try my best to stay quiet throughout the song and actually listen to it entirely. But learning from my mistakes, I do have to insert a little disclaimer here. I'm not a Eurovision specialist, I am mainly watching it for fun. I am neither a musician or a choreographer, and even though I will try as much as I can to stick to the topic, still be aware that sarcasm and dark humor are part of my DNA, so they may sneak out. You were warned, okay? After watching the video, I will also read the translation of the lyrics. I thought of making it the other way around, but since they chose to sing in Albanian, considering that many people do not understand the language, I think they're confident that the singing itself will already deliver a certain message or make people feel in a certain way. So I will go with their idea to see how the music impresses me before I can understand what the song is about. Okay, I've talked enough, so now I can handle 3 minutes of listening. Let's go!
Këtë minutën këtë qas në paranoj Pas qiu të ju l'bërti duket bota Në përkës në ambulans Kërë kursepe arrogancë Edhe sëtë në thanë që s'brishet kohë Përfundova në nuj kërës më thotoj Imagina një minut pa ushtar Për jetima as një qishe nërë që janë Mak si vjen era jarga dhe lirin e fjallë Nëse më sonë në shkolla hopa Kryon e mua një zemër të pastër Në notën time të tërgoj dritë Aman mizere Në zemrën time të mërëntën Kë minuto të vazhdoj Njerës të mire, njerës pajmer Këtë si vane në shpirt Janë aneti do tajme Ku kam linë sot dhe haroj Janë aneti do tajme Vazhdo me shtet
Zjerm, vjerëm I vallet tona tribale që ushtojnë sarte po kur bjen male. Zjerm, njerës po emen e njerës të t'lirë njëse këputën e binë si shtatë frika që t'mullën shpirë. Zjerm, këtu flendej Tirana e hana e lyjë si shofim se jyt në shkel kama korit si njerëm. Zjerm, jenat undë për flake dritë e t'kërkojnë këtë tak që s'pranë të I shmëritë.
Zemër të pastër Në notën time të tërgoj dritë Aman mizere Ha, në zemrën time të mërëntën Kë minuto të vazhdoj Njerës të mire, njerës pajmer Kërtë se në vave në shpirt Janë aneti do tajme Ku kam linë sot dhe haroj Janë aneti do tajme Vazhdo me shtet Faleminderit shumë. Faleminderit Tokë, faleminderit.
Okay, first of all, it was very difficult for me not to talk for 3 minutes straight. Don't ever watch movies with me. I always have something to say. My opinion didn't change drastically from the first time I watched it. I still loved seeing the orchestra. I loved that they have inserted probably elements from Albanian music and culture. I really loved the guy's part. There was a little bit of, I think it's called harmony, when they went toned down a little bit, when they changed the tonality. How do you say tonalность? When they changed slightly the range, a little bit lower. This is the first time I had goosebumps. This is the first time I felt something, electricity. And when the man started talking to the microphone, this was so powerful for me. In my first reaction, I have compared him to Rammstein. And I still do. It's like this very deep voice. You don't know what he's saying, but you know that he's saying it right to your soul. He skips your mind and he goes right into your soul. I love the contrast that she is more entertaining and jumpy and bouncy, and he doesn't go with it, but instead he stays and I think he's the orchestra director. Or if not, he still looks, his image is very serious, and I love that he stays there. And he's not shaken by all the effects and dancing and bouncing and music. He is there with a purpose. He has things to say and he's saying them. He's there on a mission. I really loved his part. To me, the fact that he was actually sort of reciting a poem rather than singing, something also very contrasting to what she's doing or to the whole Eurovision event. It is a very old art and it's a little bit fading away, this whole thing of poetry. And I loved it that he came like from another century to recite a poem, to say things, to use his moment to just be calm and calm down the energies. Everyone, now you sit and listen. That was the vibe that I had from him. And I had goosebumps throughout his entire performance. Again, this is exactly how I felt watching the video for the first time, but since I was making a lot of funny comments, probably it was hard to see that. I loved to see the orchestra. I know that they won't be able to take the whole orchestra with them because I learned in my research that you are not allowed to be more than 6 people at once on stage in a Eurovision performance. Now, she clearly is a professional singer. She reaches high notes. The song has interesting motifs and patterns that are new to most European people's ear, I suppose, to me at least. And that was very interesting. I did not experience any strong emotion while listening to her. Now, I'll say something, don't be pissed at me, or be pissed at me. You have all the right to experience whatever you want to experience. And so do I. Her voice didn't resonate with me so much. And this is something very individual. You sometimes go to an opera theater and you hear a singer reaches the notes that are out of the range. You are impressed by the level of professionalism. You do acknowledge that the person is a specialist in what they do, but somehow emotionally it is just not your frequency. Does it make sense to you guys? Some people might even listen to Celine Dion and say, you know what, I can clearly tell that she's an amazing singer, but just doesn't evoke any emotion in me. And that was the case for me. I know that many people loved her very much. It might be that I was not listening with my eyes closed. I could still see what was happening on the stage. And I know I shouldn't pay attention to the dancing part or to the performance at this stage because everything might change in the semifinals. But to me, the dancing, the jumping, the movement was the kind of contrast that is more disturbing than exciting. To me, it was a little bit too much. And again, I understand they wanted to make the contrasts and they wanted to bring some more maybe body language so that people can feel more. Specifically for me, it was more distracting than helping. So maybe I should give another listen to her part with my eyes closed. But at the moment, I can say that his part for me was just gold. Gold. Loved it. Loved it first time, love it this time. It is a mix of poetry, Rammstein, classic music, attitude, another century, modern electronic stuff, everything. Just very nice mix. I have also realized that there is a lot of red and black effects, which is probably a hint to the flag colors, which is also, again, bringing their own story to Eurovision, which is cool. And that is it. Let's now read the lyrics. So, Fire. Zjerm, the name of the song, Fire. In this minute, in this moment, with paranoia, I heard the word paranoia there. That's the only one I actually recognized. After the rain, the world looks like a rainbow. Oh, around there is no ambulances, no one talks with arrogance. If only I knew that before making my first reaction to the video. Speaking of arrogance, today they also told us that the weather will be good. Any weather is good. I love any weather. Give me gloomy, I'll enjoy it. I ended up underwater. My mouth never went dry. Imagine a minute without soldiers, without orphans, with no bottles in the ocean. Gasoline smells like lilac. The freedom of speech is taught in school. Ooh, You see, the song is deep, which makes me even more confused about the dancing. And I'm trying to think if that was an intentional choice to emphasize the message of the song with the movement, then what was exactly the motivation behind it? Because when I saw her dancing, I thought that maybe it was a little bit like childish. And now when I read the lyrics and I'm trying to understand how these two things were supposed to work together, I'm thinking that maybe she actually tried to make it a little bit like jumpy, silly, childish, because she's talking about a message that is a little bit naive, and maybe she's speaking a little bit as if from a perspective of a child. And then she also mentions the freedom of speech is taught in school. So she's kind of maybe connecting to her inner child and is trying to draw a world where we can be just like bouncy, happy, joyful, and rainbows and unicorns instead of wars and pollution. Then she sings, create within me a pure heart. In my night, I send you the light. Aman misere. Aman misere. And then there is a star. What does the star mean? Oh, someone explained it. So I'm reading the explanation that someone has kindly posted. Heroes Gaming 7757. That's the nick of the person. Miserere is Latin for be merciful, have mercy. And overall, it would be please have mercy. This phrase is not inherently Albanian, and it's likely for artistic effect, but it has a meaning. Amen is an exclamation that is used in day-to-day Albanian, likely derived from Arabic or Hebrew, that we use as I beg or please. In my heart, this minute shall continue. The good people, the nameless people, dance vale, and there is a star. In their soul, Jarna ne, and there's another star, we'll get to it. You, my land, where I was born, I will not forget. Jarna ne, you, my world, continue to shine, shine, shine. So, shnit. I will go to read what the other stars mean. So, vale, what traditional Albanian dances are called. Oh, okay. So she was maybe quoting some Albanian traditional dancing moves, even though I've recognized some voguing and other. Jarnane, leitmotiv that is used in a lot of traditional Albanian songs. Albanian polyphony, etc. It is an exclamation with no direct translation, but is really rhythmic and fits in surprisingly well with traditional Albanian music and verses. I see. It's like hop, hop, hop. So, fire. Fall upon our tribal dances. Oh, here the dancing starts. So, wait a second. So she is dressed in red. The song is about fire and she's super bouncy. Does that mean that she's trying to imitate a fire? Could be. Maybe that's why she's so jumpy. Could be. That echo as loud as the avalanche when it falls upon mountains. Fire. The nameless people and the pure people, the broken people, and they fall like 7 knives that stab your soul. Ooh, that's his part, right? 7 knives that stab your soul. You see, I do not know Albanian, but I have mentioned earlier that he is talking directly to your soul. I've mentioned that, and here he's actually talking about knives to the soul. And I do remember having goosebumps as well. And that, my friends, I consider to be a very high form of art. When you do not understand the language, you hear and see the person for the first time, but you feel something very strongly And coincidentally or intentionally, he's kind of hypnotizing you to understand and feel exactly what he wants you to understand and feel. Very cool. There is an entire genre. Actually, I remember I used to listen to people speak over music. So not singers or rappers, just someone who talks, not even necessarily a poem, not even necessarily reading a poem, just talking. And it was a very powerful experience. Fire. Here rests the sea, the sand, the moon. And the stars we do not see because our foot steps on them as we walk in delirium. Some things start making sense now because maybe her, again, jumping around and like dancing and doing the sharp moves that are kind of distracting, and him being very calm, very present, very collected, very composed, very demure, no, being sort of the only element in the chaos of things that are happening. So maybe her, in my opinion, chaotic performance is maybe now making even more sense because then he is talking about the chaos around him and he is trying to be this core, the voice of sense. Does it make sense? Fire. We're hungry for flames and light, and we seek you. In this darkness that is nowhere close to shining. Right, so he's saying that the world is in a deep and basically he's saying that they want to shine, but there are too many challenges at the moment. Create within me a pure heart. In my night, I send you the light. Aman miserere, in my heart, this minute shall continue. The good people, the nameless people. Now I do have goosebumps a little bit when I read the lyrics. Dance vale, in their soul, Yarnane, you my land. Where I was born, I will not forget. Yarnane, you my world. Continue to shine, shine, shine. Wow. Okay. You know what? Now this puzzle, I believe, almost completely came together. I do think that specifically for me, I needed that translation to English to understand the art a little bit better or much better and to make more sense to me. Definitely some songs have the value of the message in them and the poetry and maybe certain vocabulary that was chosen. So this is the case. They chose interesting metaphors and they used their traditional expressions and they spoke about problems that concern them. So to me, this element of the translation was necessary to give a much higher score to the song. But since they chose to sing it in Albanian, they probably consider that not everyone would choose to read the translation and therefore some things might be interpreted in different ways. I will now come back to my comments right after watching the video and I will back them up by saying that still the part of the man for me was fantastic and the part of the woman was very good from a professional point of view, didn't necessarily make me feel something while she was performing. But maybe this contrast helped me to experience something very strong when the guy started talking. Overall, from what I have noticed, the Albanian song is one of the favorites this year. Also, my friends explained it to me that this kind of performance was kind of refreshing to them because it was different from what they were maybe used to or expecting from Eurovision. So well done, Albania! And I think I also did a good job here. I really paid attention to details this time. I wasn't interrupting. I tried my best to cut off my fantastic humor. And I've read the lyrics to understand the art better. So 12 points to me and probably 12 points to Albania. Let me know in the comments what will be your score to them. I'll see you in the next one. Also, even though I have deleted my original reaction video, I would still love to keep the intro because it was quite cool. So this is the first ever reaction video that I'm doing. And it's weird because I love reacting on this event. For those of you who do not know what Eurovision is...
What's Eurovision?
So, for those of you who are in Africa, in Asia, in...
South America, in Oceania,
so you know...
in Antarctica, in Greenland, in the moon.
So you know there are the Olympic Games, right? You know Wimbledon, World Cup, NBA, forget about it. All that list and then Eurovision. And we're going to react on Eurovision 2025. So we're going alphabetically. Guess which country we'll be starting with?
Angola.
We already failed in understanding the concept of Eurovision. Eurovision is a competition of music, as they say, more vision than music. And it is mainly amongst the countries that are in Europe, but sometimes there are things that go around and some countries are excluded.
Australia.
Others are included. So you have to guess what country will be beginning with
What's the first letter?
A, as an alphabet.
Albania.
And that is correct.
Really?
We'll begin with Albania.